Good evening, everyone. May I please have your attention, please? Hi, good evening. So it is my pleasure and honor to welcome you all here today. I'm Parul Bakshi, Secretary Kizuna India Study Forum, and I'm so glad that you all could take time out for this book launch event today. So without further ado, I call upon Mr. Koji Sato, Director General, Japan Foundation, New Delhi, to please share his welcome remarks.
Good evening, namaste. On the occasion of the India visit of the President of the Japan Foundation, Ambassador Kazuyoshi Uemoto, I really wanted that just as many as possible, just all the friends of Japan who have been dedicating just for the promotion of Japan-India relations further to meet and share the views and just how we can just push up this partnership further. And right upon the arrival, just last night, we had already had a couple of series of meetings, and just before this meeting, also we had a gathering of the Japanese Studies Fellows alumni meeting, and it was really fruitful. And in this evening, on the suggestion by the respected Dr. Ashoku Jain Sensei, about the more intimate gathering with the dignitaries or closer friends. On the occasion of the book launch of the this Geographies of Exchange between India and Japan, that was based on the seminar, international seminar that was organized last February, I remember. And since we owe a lot to Mosai, or Ashoku Jain Sensei, effort to work with us for the better promotion of Japan-India relations, especially on maybe conducting the JLPT or other promotion of study in Japan and so far. But Mosai's new initiative on pushing forward the more academic exchange that will seek out more lesser known facts about the deep root of our really friendly relations. Why we are so much feeling as friends, and we are very happy to collaborate and cooperate together. So in this occasion, once again, I'd like to really thank you all the dignitaries and friends, and hope that more and more useful exchange or share of ideas will take place. And thank you very much for Ambassador Shamsaranji for providing IIC's all the professional support for conducting lots of exchanges, including tomorrow's intellectual meeting as well as I Love Sushi exhibition. And I hope that more and more future collaboration of Japan-India culture exchange will happen here and there, at IIC as always the center of exchange. So thank you very much, and I'd like to really congratulate on the very happy book launch. ありがとうございます。Dhanyavad.
Thank you so much, Sato-san. Thank you for setting the stage so beautifully. And without further delay, I now call upon Professor Sushila Narsimhan, who's also the editor of the book, and I happen to be a co-editor as well. But
good evening, everybody. Ambassador Uemoto Kazuyoshi, President of the Japan Foundation, Ambassador Shyam Saran, President India International Center, Ambassador Deepa Wadhwa, President India-Japan Friendship Forum and member Kizuna India-Japan Forum Advisory Committee, Mr. Koji Sato, Director General, the Japan Foundation, Dr. Ashok Jain, President, Mombushu Scholars Association of India, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the editors, me and Dr. Parul Bakshi, I welcome you all to the book release function of Geographies of Exchange between India and Japan. This book represents a significant milestone in our ongoing exploration of the deep and intricate historical and cultural connections between India and Japan. Both Buddhism and globalization have played a crucial role in fostering closeness between the Indian and Japanese cultures. While Buddhism remains a key pillar, our research has uncovered deeper and more varied roots that require multidisciplinary approaches to fully understand. The book Geographies of Exchange between India and Japan is the result of an international conference titled Discovering India-Japan Civilizational Ties and Southeast Asia Connectivities, held in February 2023, which brought together scholars from around the world. And I see two scholars here, Dr. Ued Teramoto and Dr. Padmini Tolat Balram. This conference was organized by the Kizuna India-Japan Study Forum in collaboration with the India International Center. The conference aimed to highlight the important role of Southeast Asia in bridging the geographical and cultural gaps between India and Japan, fostering a global environment for their interactions. The deliberations revealed that there exists a much richer and more diverse historical and cultural tapestry than previously studied or highlighted. The Kizuna India-Japan Study Forum, established in September 2022, is dedicated to exploring and documenting the lesser-known or under-researched aspects of India-Japan historical and cultural interactions. Through lectures, seminars, conferences, and publications, the forum seeks to deepen our understanding of the historical and cultural ties between India and Japan, inclusive of their multi-country social, economic, and political contexts. Geographies of Exchange between India and Japan comprises 16 chapters that delve into various aspects of historical and cultural interactions between India and Japan, offering new insights and perspectives. The chapters are divided into three thematic sections. 1, trading ties across the ocean. 2, historic intellectual undercurrents. And 3, an artful amalgamation of culture. Each section explores different facets of the India-Japan relationship, ranging from commercial and cultural exchanges to intellectual influences and artistic amalgamations. We would like to express gratitude to all the contributors who have enriched this book with their research and insights. We also extend thanks to Ambassador Shamsaran for his thoughtful foreword, and to the members of Kizuna India-Japan Study Forum Advisory Board, especially Professor Martha Checklin and Dr. Ashok Jain for their guidance and support. We are deeply honored to have Ambassador Umemoto Kazuyoshi, President of the Japan Foundation, with us today to release the book. His presence and support are a testament to the strong partnership between the Japan Foundation and Kizuna Forum. We thank him for taking the time to be here and for his continued support. We also extend our sincere thanks to the Japan Foundation for their constant support and collaboration in our endeavors to deepen the understanding and appreciation of the historic and cultural ties between India and Japan. We express our thanks to Mr. M.P. Yadav of Manak Publications for the timely publication, and a special word of appreciation to Ms. Shuka Jain for the impressive jacket cover, adding elegance to the book, and also the banner, which you all see. We hope that Geographies of Exchange between India and Japan will serve as a valuable source for scholars and researchers in various fields, contributing to a deeper appreciation of the historic and cultural ties between India and Japan. With these words, I now request Ambassador Umemoto Kazuyoshi to release the book. Thank you.
May I please request His Excellency Ambassador Kazuyoshi Umemoto-san to please share a few words with us.
Okay, good evening. Dr. Ashok Jain, President of MOSAI, Ambassador Shamsaran, President of IIC, Ambassador Deepa Gopalan Wadwa, Chairperson India-Japan Friendship Forum, ladies and gentlemen, namaskar. It is really a great honor and pleasure for me to be present at the book launch of this beautiful Geography of Exchanges between India and Japan. As the editor explained the contents of the book, I was thinking that we now Prime Minister Abe as a concept of Indo-Pacific, free and open Indo-Pacific. So the connection between India and Japan and Southeast Asia. This is something that the current diplomacy of diplomatic policy of Japan is pursuing.
Zebronics for life.
And that's already goes back to more than 1,000 years. Japan and India is connected through China, through Southeast Asia. And I was very intrigued to listen to your explanation that you are now trying to fill the gap. There have been so many exchanges that we have not been aware of until recently. So I really applaud the efforts by all the people who have participated in this symposium and who have made the book possible. And I would like to take this opportunity to thank Dr. Jain and MOSAI for all the support and assistance you have provided to Japan Foundation activities, particularly in the area of Japanese language training and also the Japanese language JLPT tests. As a matter of fact, JLPT, last year, I think the overall number of participants surpassed the level of the highest level before COVID eras. So now, around the globe, more than 1 million people participated in the test. But Japan Foundation is organizing all these tests, but without the help of local organizations like MOSAI, we wouldn't be able to conduct this JLPT. So I really would like to express our deepest gratitude to MOSAI and Dr. Jain and the people at MOSAI for doing that. One of the reasons I decided to come to India is that last year we were able to secure 10-year, a big budget for a program, 10-year program for cultural and people-to-people exchanges between Japan and ASEAN for the furtherance of Indo-Pacific community. So this budget would perhaps enable us to start many new programs, perhaps increase the existing programs. So India would be one of the key areas for such kind of new activities, because, of course, because of the dedication and the enthusiasm of many Japanese scholars, as well as Mosai and IIC and so on, we have been quite successful in maintaining a good level of cultural exchanges between Japan and India and people-to-people exchanges. But in view of the very, very close relationship between Japan and India nowadays, I think there's still a gap that we have to fill. We have a very robust programs with Japan and US, or to a lesser extent Japan-China, but maybe Japan-India. I think there's a lot of catching up to do. I think we have to do. So, of course, being in a public sector, always a change needs some time to implement. But at least I would like to convey to you that there's a strong will on the part of Japanese government and on the part of Japan Foundation to increase the level of exchanges, cultural, people-to-people, between Japan and India, both in terms of quality and quantity. So, and of course, we would not be able to do that without the support and assistance from Indian side. And this, well, maybe small group of very important key players in such efforts, I would like to ask for your assistance and support to whatever we try to do for the furtherance of exchanges between Japan and India. So I am very happy that you timed this very important event with, coincides with my visit. So thank you very much for organizers and editors and so on. So I wish you all the success in whatever you do, particularly the new study group. So I'm sure that Sato-san and Japan Foundation New Delhi office would try to be as helpful as possible. And I look forward to working very closely with all of you. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much for those encouraging words, Ambassador Umemoto. And I feel I speak for everybody in the room when I say that majority of the initiatives that we wanted to take would not have been possible today if not for the support that we get from Japan Foundation. So we certainly look forward to a more productive future, and we are so happy that your visit could coincide with our book launch. We couldn't have been happier. Thank you so much. With that, I would like to call upon Ambassador Shyam Saran to please come on the stage and give us some of the insights that he can share about IIC and the book. Thank you.
Thank you very much. First of all, let me extend a very warm welcome to our special guest, Ambassador Umemoto. And we are very happy that his visit has coincided with the launch of this very fascinating volume of essays on India-Japan relations. Let me also welcome my colleague and friend, Ambassador Deepa Vadava, Mr. Ashok Jain, who's the head of the Mosai Group, the editors of this volume, Professor Sushila Narsimhan and Parul, and Mr. Koji Sato, Director General of the Japan Foundation here in New Delhi. So good evening to all of you. and welcome to the launch of this very special edited volume. Let me just say that India International Center, which I represent, is particularly happy to collaborate together with the Japan Foundation as well as with our friends here to really promote what you mentioned, the peoples to peoples relations, because even though the political relationship, the strategic partnership between the two countries, and what the Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe had called the confluence of the two oceans. So the confluence also needs to have a cultural and a people's basis to it. And this is something which India International Center is very keen to promote because of its own history. Because as you know, Excellency, this was inaugurated, in fact, by the then Crown Prince, but now the Emperor Emeritus, came here in '61. And so you will see the foundations, the inaugural slab, which is there with his name. So right from the beginning, India International Center has had a very close relationship with Japan. And over the years, actually, in the early years, there used to be a constant exchange between India and Japan. It used to be the International House of Japan on the Japanese side, and the India International Center here. And we had regular exchanges. We used to have delegations going from India to Japan, Japanese delegations coming to India. But over a period of time, it sort of, got perhaps more less frequent, and then it almost completely came to a halt, which is a pity. Because I think one of the very important mandates for at least the India International Center was that we should promote particularly India-Japan relations. That was supposed to be the priority. So I'm extremely happy that we are once again in the process of reviving that kind of tradition. And in that context, both Dr. Ashok Jain and my friend Deepa, who has been ambassador to Japan, have played a very important role, and we should recognize the contribution that they have made. Excellency, perhaps you might know that I have served myself in Japan. I was there for 3 years, from 1986 to 1989, long time ago. But I can also say that it was one of my very, prized postings, because I learned a great deal about Japan, and also the time that I spent in Japan really brought home to me precisely what this volume is talking about. The many deep connections which exist between our two countries, the cultural connect which is there. Of course, Buddhism is certainly an important strain, and I sometimes tell the story to my friends that every year in Japan you have this special event where the orchestra from the royal court plays the gukaku, the ancient court music. And my then ambassador, who was also a great musicologist, both he and his wife, they were sitting next to me. And when the music started playing, they started humming the same tune, because it was, to them, it was exactly one of the very famous, musical compositions, what we call raga, from the south of India. They were from the south. So we tried to find out how this could have happened, because the connection was so strong. And it seems that the monk Bodhisena, when he went to Nara and he helped in the consecration of the Daibutsu, he wrote the music for the event, which apparently has still been kept that legacy has been kept alive. So there is this ancient, connection, but also we have very modern connections because, if you look at India's own national movement, the independence movement, it drew very much from, the kind of inspiration given by Okakura Tenshin, who was also a great, friend of Rabindranath Tagore. But his whole sense of, Asia being one, which is what the message that he gave. And when he visited India, and he said that, not just Buddhism, but various cultural connections which exist across Asia, is really, this is an entire civilization by itself. And that in dealing with the Western, onslaught on at not only political onslaught, but cultural onslaught, the revival of this idea of India was very, very important. And he felt that both India and Japan could play a very seminal role in that respect. So there are many, many connections, and I'm extremely happy to see that this volume has been produced with many contributions, and I would like to thank you and Parul for making this possible. So congratulations on the launch of this book, and once again to Ambassador Umemoto. Welcome to you, and hope we will continue to have your support for our activities. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ambassador Saran, for those very interesting insights. And I would just like to highlight for those who do not know, exactly 1 year ago in February 2023, we had the conference right here at IIC. And today we are having the book launch here as well. So thank you so much. This would not have been possible without your unwavering support as well. So thank you. I now call upon Ambassador Deepa Gopalan Vadva to please come and share some insights from her side.
Ambassador Shamsaran. He's been a mentor, guide. I think I followed him to Japan because he spoke so highly of Japan. I finally ended up being ambassador there. Ambassador Umemoto, wonderful to see you here, sir. Sato-san has been an old friend from Japan whom I was very happy to see back in Delhi. So it's really nice to be associated with the Japan Foundation here. Dr. Ashok Jain, the MOSAI, I must say, is a really precious organization as far as, India-Japan relations are concerned. I think there was probably an investment in scholars going to Japan, which has paid off very well. My friends Sushila, Narsimhan, and Parul, I mean, putting this together, it was really a work of love, dedication, selfless dedication. What really amazes me about the relationship, I mean, the knowledge that they have of experts all over the world. It's not only India. And I'm so worried that we shouldn't lose this. We've got to document it. And all the other friends here who are, work on Japan in different ways, people who have contributed to this volume. Good evening. It's a great pleasure to be here. This really, whatever we've heard, is really reaffirms the need to deepen understanding between our two countries. And I must say my own association with Japan has been that there's broadly a very positive public perception of each other. Whether it is you ask the Japanese about India and Indians, and similarly here. But what is perhaps lacking is knowledge about each other, of any sort of, a deep knowledge of each other beyond the surface of saying that we're two friendly countries. And I think it's in that context that a project like this has been really, wonderful. And it wouldn't have been possible without the work that was done by you all in this very short time of just 1 year. You really, there was regular talks, and I was really fortunate to be part of that conference. And now looking at this book, the way it's turned out, I know the effort that they have put into it. So, my job here really was to look forward. I think the points have been made, and as Ambassador Shamsaran said, that, this strategic relationship that we have, all other facets of it are doing very well and, deepening. My own feeling is that people to people and cultural exchanges need more focus and attention. So when I came back, in fact, I was asked whether I would, head an organization or set up, in fact, help establish an organization also by Ambassador Shamsaran and some other senior colleagues to a friendship association, because we didn't have one in India, like you have the Japan-India Association in Japan. I must say this has been set up. I personally will say that I'm a little disappointed that we can't do more. And we can't do more is because there is no institutional framework. We have Japan Foundation, we have the Indian, ICCR, Indian Council of Cultural Relations. Both the organizations work to promote their respective cultures in each other's countries. But one of the things that I feel is they don't work together adequately. And I think that really would help, probably, in many ways. The other thing which is lacking, I think, in our relationship, and if I may say this, not seen as criticism, but something as positive we could do, is this framework, is that we don't have a cultural agreement, which we have in many countries. Many years ago, I was with Ambassador Shamsaran, almost 40 years ago in China, but we had a cultural exchange, with a cultural agreement with them and a cultural exchange program, which then forced us to do things. And not only that, and identified organizations who would then be really the executors of those exchanges. That is a big, I think, a lacuna that we have here. And I'm just wondering what we can do about it. It will change a lot of things if we have something like that. I do understand that our practices are different, and I know that Japan really doesn't follow the same model. But I was looking, and like most people do, we look at what Japan does with the US and what it does with China. And I found in 2019 that you had launched a high-level consultation, a high-level consultation process on people-to-people exchanges and people-to-people and cultural exchanges, and identified a lot of areas. So we're looking at history, which is very important, because I think, a deeper understanding of our common, not only our common cultural traits, but also the values that we have today reflects that common culture that we have, cultural traditions that we have, but also modern day understanding of, art, literature, media, youth, and so on. And I found all of those are there in that listing that would be done between China and Japan. I don't know whether it was operationalized, because it happened in 2019, just before COVID. And I think it was, of course, endorsed by President Xi Jinping and Prime Minister Abe. But I think that gives a kind of a good model if we could work on it. And my appeal to you, Ambassador Mehta, since you're here, is to carry back to Japan the message that there are really a lot of people in India, who are very, very eager to partner Japan in promoting understanding between our countries, and including in India, and the Japanese language and so on. But if we could think of some more formal framework within which we could do this, I think the returns would be far more than they are now. So this is really what I thought I would say in terms of the way forward. But we're always here to work with you, and very happy to work with you. And thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ambassador Vadla, for your motivating remarks. And I must say, along with her suggestions, she's always been that optimistic guiding light for us throughout the process. So thank you so much. And last but not the least, I invite Dr. Jain, President Mosai, to please share a few words with us.
Ambassador Shamsaranji, Ambassador Umemoto, Ambassador Deepa Gopalan Vadlaji, Sato-san, and friends. I feel very humble in sort of saying anything in front of my mentors. In a very quiet way, I think India International Center, and specifically Ambassador Shamsaranji and Deepa Gopalan Vadlaji, the very fact that when you request them to come, they come, gives us a lot of encouragement. because for us, basically our strength is the scholars. And MOSAI's strength is that we are a platform, and pretty stable platform, in the sense that this particular event started 2018, 17 in fact, with the earlier DG Miyamoto-san. And it so happens that Sushila ji and we were chatting again in India International Center. I think this place has some magic. And I told Sushila ji, pardon me for being a bit anecdotal, but that I read her article that Hyderabad Nizam had sent a delegation to Japan to study the Japanese education system, which was then incorporated in Osmania University. I said, look, this is the first time I've been hearing about it. How come? Then next was sitting Anuradha Chaturvedi, School of Planning and Architecture, Tokyo University, and so on. She says that, do you know that a Japanese earthquake engineering delegation had come during the Assam earthquake? And they were fascinated by the bamboo structures, almost resistant to earthquake. He went back, wrote a report, and some of the specifications got entered into Japanese earthquake manual. I said, look, I mean, these are the facts. Maybe there are many more. So I narrated this to Miyamoto-san. He says, yes, of course, why not? So we had a big conference, and for us, the support of Japan Foundation in terms of few lakhs was a big thing. But we had that international conference, international scholars. It so happens that many of these studies are done by Portuguese because of their earlier interest, by the British, East India Company, and the Americans, of course. Always they have a very good repository of archives. So they also do. So suddenly we realized that India-Japan relations, the scholarship is not related to between India and Japan, but spreads all over. Now, from then to here, step by step, we have always had the support of ambassadors, both the ambassadors. And today we are fortunate that even Japan Foundation's ambassador is with us. Now, looking forward then, we have carefully listened to what Ambassador Shamsaran has said, what Deepa ji has said. And I think, Sato-san, we have to seriously think, try to understand, and in whatever little way, operationalize some of it. We are a smaller organization, but we are a bit crazy. I mean, we don't mind taking up tasks. Thank you so much for being with us. Glad. Can we have some drinks now?
Thank you, Dr. Jain. And certainly we can have some drinks now. I'd just like to take the opportunity to thank all of you once again. We've put in a lot of love, effort and dedication, as Ambassador Deepa Wadhwa ma'am mentioned. And we hope you enjoyed reading the book as much as we enjoyed putting it together. Thank you so much. Drinks. Thanks.